The marketing research process simply explained in one video. If you want to learn more about it, keep watching this video. The entire marketing research process simply explained in one video. If you want to learn more about it, keep watching this video, but before everything, let's see the definition of marketing research. Marketing research is the systematic design, collection, analysis, and reporting of data relevant to a specific marketing situation facing an organization. In the previous videos, we talked about the marketing intelligence, internal databases, and the life cycle of big data. If you want to watch those videos, you can click here, you can find the links below. They are a good introduction for what is happening right now, the entire marketing research process that helps the companies not only obtain information, but only to know how to analyze and use them for accomplishing their objectives. It is important for you to know that the marketing research is only a method for collecting primary data. If you want to learn more about primary data, secondary data, find the links down in the description for other videos. And however, you need to know that the big challenge nowadays of the marketeers is not to obtain information anymore. They already have enough information. The challenge nowadays is to analyze and use it correctly for accomplishing their objectives, and that's because the more information and the more qualitative the information about the customers is, the bigger the company can make profits and the more they can help and shape their products to satisfy the needs of the customers. Companies use marketing research for a wide variety of situations. Marketing research gives marketeers insight into customer motivations, purchase behavior, and satisfaction. It can help them to assess market potential and market share, or measure the effectiveness of pricing, product distribution, and promotion activities. Most of the companies let the marketing department lead all the other departments because they realize that they need to work together. All the other departments within a company, such as operations, such as Salesforce, they need to work together, collect data, and give them to the marketing managers to know how they can handle it to better enhance the quality and the operations of the company, to satisfy the customers, to obtain value in return from the customers. So simply put, to make profit by creating better products. However, although nowadays companies store, collect, gather information a bit chaotically because of the advancement of the technology that provide them more and more data that they become overwhelmed with, when done correctly by the book, we would say, the marketing research process has 4 steps that has to go when it is done correctly. And those 4 steps are: the steps of the process are defining the problem and the research objectives, defining the research plan, implementing the research plan, and interpreting and reporting the findings. And right now we will discuss each step of the marketing research process individually, and we will start with the first one, which is probably the most difficult but also the most important in the same time. Defining the problem and the research objectives guides the entire research process. To define the problem and the research objectives, the marketing managers and the researchers must work together. Once the problem has been correctly identified and defined, the marketeers and the researchers must work together to establish the research objectives. And there are 3 types of objectives that they can go for. Explanatory objectives are to gather preliminary information that will help define the problem and suggest hypotheses. The objective of descriptive research is to describe things, such as the market potential for a product or the demographics and attitudes for consumers who buy the product. The objective of causal research is to test hypotheses and cause and effect relationships. The second step of the process is to define the research plan. This means that once the marketeers and the researchers have identified the problem and they define the objectives they want to achieve, they need to work together to determine what kind of information is needed to solve the problem, and they need to create a plan with the approaches for gathering that information efficiently. The research plan outlines sources of existing data and spells out the specific research approaches, contact methods, sampling plans, and instruments that researchers will use to gather new data. Research objectives must be translated into specific information needs. For a better understanding, I will give you an example. Let's just suppose that Red Bull, the energy company you know about, would like to come out on the market with a new product that would be a vitamin-enhanced water that they would sell under the brand name Red Bull. Where for this kind of objective, the company would need the following specific information: the demographic, economic, and lifestyle characteristics of current Red Bull consumers. Do the current customers also consume enhanced water products? The characteristics and usage patterns of the broader population of enhanced water users. What do they need and expect from such products? Where do they buy them? When and how do they use them? And what existing brands and price points are most popular? They would also need retail reactions to the proposed new product line. Would they stock and support it? Where would they display it? And finally, they would need forecasts of sales and profits of both the new and current Red Bull products. Will the new waters create new sales, or they would just take sales away from the current Red Bull products? This kind of information would be mandatory to know by the Department of Marketing within the Red Bull company, because they need to know if the users of vitamin enhanced waters would also buy Red Bull, if the product would be an enhancement of sales for the company or would take sales away from the products they have now, and they would also need to know that if it's a good strategic decision to introduce a new product on the market. To meet the manager's expectations in terms of information, the research plan would need to be designed in such a way that it would need to collect both secondary and primary data. Secondary data consists of information that already exists somewhere, having been collected for another purpose. Primary data consists of information collected for the specific purpose at hand. When it comes to secondary data, most of the times the companies use the information they already have gathered in their internal databases. They can also use marketing intelligence information and processes to obtain that kind of information, or they can simply buy it from other companies. And one more aspect that is important to be mentioned is that secondary data can be obtained and gathered at a lower price than the primary data. Even when the data can be found, the information might not be very usable. The researcher must evaluate secondary information carefully to make certain that it is relevant. This means that it fits the research project needs, it is accurate, so it is reliable, collected and reported, and it is current, so it is up to date enough for current decisions, and impartial, that it is objectively collected and reported. When it comes to primary data, there are several ways you can obtain and gather it, up from observations, surveys and experiments, and we will discuss all these methods right now. Observational research involves gathering primary data by observing relevant people, actions and situations. Researchers often observe consumer behavior to glean customer insights they can't obtain by simply taking customers' questions. A wide range of companies now use ethnographic research. It involves sending out observers to watch and interact with consumers in their natural environments. The observers might be trained anthropologists and psychologists, or simply company researchers and managers. The survey research is the most widely used method for primary data collection. It is the best approach, best suited for gathering descriptive information. A company wants to know about people's knowledge, attitudes, preferences, or buying behaviors that can often find out by asking them directly. Its major advantage is its flexibility. Surveys addressing almost any marketing question or decision can be conducted by phone, mail, in person or online. Experimental research is best suited for gathering causal information. Experiments involve selecting matching groups of subjects, giving them different treatments, controlling unrelated factors, and checking for differences in group responses. Thus, experimental research tried to explain cause and effect relationships. As you can imagine, there are more methods for obtaining primary data. If you'd like to learn more about them and to find out more methods, you can watch the video right here or find it in the links below. The third step of the marketing research process is to implement the research plan. In this phase, the researchers put the marketing research plan into action. This involves collecting, processing, and analyzing the information. Data collection can be carried out by companies' marketing research department or outside companies. Researchers should watch closely to make sure that the plan is implemented correctly. It is important to mention that marketeers must check the data for both accuracy and completeness and code it for better and further analysis. The last step of the marketing research process is interpreting and reporting the findings. In this phase, the market researchers must interpret the findings, draw conclusions, and report them to management. One important aspect is that the researchers should not overwhelm the marketing managers by overwhelming them with information. Most of the times, the managers tends to ask for a lot of information, but they don't really know what they actually need. So the researchers must filter this information and give to the managers, the marketing managers, only the relevant statistics and information that helps the managers in the important decision-making processes. It is important to mention that interpretations should not be left only to researchers. Although they are experts in the research design and statistics, marketing managers know more about the problem and the decisions that must be made. Managers and researchers must work together closely when interpreting the research results. Both must share the responsibility for the research process and the resulting decisions. This was everything for this video. I hope this helped you to better understand the marketing research process. I hope you understand now all the 4 steps that are in this process. And also, if you'd like to watch an introductory video for this chapter of marketing research, you can check the links right here or in the links below. There are separated videos about the life cycle of big data. There are separated videos about the marketing intelligence and internal databases. That would serve as a very good introduction before watching this video. And one more thing, if you have your own company or if you are an entrepreneur, you are probably looking for creating your own marketing strategy. You should probably have a communication strategy, and more important than everything else is to have a good business plan. Well, if this is what you're looking for, I've already helped you, because in the links down in the description you can find 2 files. One has a dictionary with free words that you can find out. It is the vocabulary of business and vocabulary of marketing that you should know. And then you can also download a business plan that I've created for you. There is a manual with instruction and information that you need in order to be able to build a step-by-step original business plan for your own business. If this video helped you, in the description down below there are many links with other marketing and corporate communication videos that you could watch for free to learn and enhance your knowledge about business. Well, if you'd also like to thank me, you could buy me a coffee. There is a link down in the description for that. I run on a lot of coffee to do the research, to find the right information for you to film, to edit, and to post these videos so you can watch for free on YouTube, and I kinda like coffee. Also, you could thank me by subscribing to the channel, by liking this video, and by leaving a comment in the comment section down below, because you know how YouTube algorithm is nowadays. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next video. Goodbye.